My name is Mandy Mahoney, and my son Paul is a patient of Dr. Shannon's, and we have had the best experience. Paul had a severe underbite that was genetic inherited from my husband, and we were so glad when Dr. Shannon and Dr. Matt offered us an opportunity at this early stage of his life. Paul was five when we started seeing Dr. Shannon and Dr. Matt. And we started with the MyoBrace, and he slept with that in the evening. And the team here was so encouraging and helpful to think about how to that Paul could learn to keep the MyoBrace in. And they celebrated him every time he had a big milestone. And then as we saw that he needed to have more support while his mouth was still growing, Dr. Shannon recommended that we go forward with an appliance to put in his mouth that would both expand his jaw and then also move it forward. And they were so kind and just generous of spirit in celebrating Paul, so that he has felt proud, he has felt like he can do this, and he has taken on the responsibility of putting the rubber bands on at night, and never complains, and knows that when he comes in for his checkups that everybody here is just going to be cheering him on. So in conjunction with working here with the dentists, we have also been seeing a speech therapist that the practice helped us find, and it's been completely virtual because it's been during COVID. And so weekly, Paul has 30-minute sessions in which they are working with him on strengthening his tongue and the other muscles in his mouth. And that started with games, just helping him build the muscles in his tongue. And as time has developed, he's doing work around pronouncing some of the letters that he needs help with, like the letter R. But we found that there's been great communication between our speech therapist and the practice here, and that has made me and my husband feel really supported. So Paul is in a reverse pull face mask, and he has embraced it because Dr. Shannon helped him see that it is just like becoming a superhero. So he feels like he's Iron Man now, and he loves wearing it. I never thought my child would like wearing what is commonly referred to as headgear, but he actually puts on his rubber bands by himself at night with a minimal amount of support from my husband and I, and it's just amazing. Figuring out the practice and the routine with the MyoBrace took some experimentation.
Yeah.
Wearing it at night was easy from the start, but it was the daytime when Sean and I are both working from home, and Paul's been doing school at home, when we had to remind him he needed to wear it. A lot of times it would get lost under the bed or misplaced. So we developed some habits about where to put the MyoBrace as soon as it came out of his mouth, and that helped us be able to find it more regularly. Yes, we have made sure that Paul has ownership over the MyoBrace, wearing it, keeping up with it, because at the end of the day, this is his health, and we're building healthy habits and healthy practices in him that we want to last his whole life. And if my husband and I were just doing it and hovering over him, we wouldn't be building those lifelong habits. So some of the speech exercises he's had to do over time, he first had to learn how to curl his tongue and in different ways, which he wasn't able to do. He also then had to learn how to hold water at the top of his mouth. He had to develop a new swallow. He had to use a straw to build his cheek muscles, so he would hold the straw and then put it on a piece of paper and create enough suction so that the paper would stick to the straw. So the fact that all of us have something is just
good.
I think normalized for him. And then Sean has talked to him a lot about what he went through as a kid. So when the first couple nights, when it was painful, when the key turned, he wasn't, but you know, Sean would come talk to him and say he remembered when it was like that. And then over breakfast and stuff, they've joked about food getting caught and what that's like. So Sean's helped normalize it a lot.
Good.
That's great.
I think that y'all have provided us with such outstanding guidance and made it practical that as long as we follow your guidance, it's been pretty easy.